know you say you know me well, but these days I don't even know myself, no. I always thought I'd be with someone else.
Good day, viewers. Do you feel stressed about your math exams, especially on graphing functions? Are you about to give up? Worry no more, because you are just in the right place and we are here to help you. In this video, we will be discussing about graphing rational functions, wherein we have two objectives. First is to learn how to list and apply the steps in sketching a graph. Second one is to be able to represent rational functions by using a graph. We have 5 steps in graphing rational functions. First is to find the intercepts, the x and y intercepts. Second, determine the asymptotes. It's basically an invisible vertical line that your graph approaches and gets really close to but never touches. Third, create the table of values of x and y. Fourth, you may now start sketching the graph. Fifth, then after sketching, check it using the domain and range. To find the horizontal asymptotes, if top degree is less than the bottom degree, for example, x plus 1 over x squared plus 2, the answer will be y equals 0, because every time the bottom degree is higher, y will always be equals to 0. If the top and bottom degree is the same, for example, 2x squared plus 1 over 3x squared plus 2, we can see that the upper and lower degree is just the same. What you will do is disregard anything beside that terms in the top and bottom, then divide or simplify it. The answer will be 2 over 3. If the top degree is higher than the bottom degree, for example, 2x squared plus 1 over x plus 1, we can see that the bottom degree is lower, so if this is the case, there will be no horizontal asymptote, so y equals none. To find the vertical asymptote, first step is to factor. Factor anything that is factorable in the expression. Second, cancel. Cancel out the terms that are just the same. And then the last step is to equate the denominator into 0. Let's have some examples.
So here's the first example of graphing rational functions with vertical and horizontal asymptotes. With the given rational function, f of x is equals to x squared plus 2x minus 3 over x. The first thing that you should do is to factor it out if it is factorable. So from x squared plus 2x minus 3 over x, it will be quantity x plus 3, quantity x minus 1 over x. From the simplified form, get the vertical asymptote. And how? By equating the denominator to 0. So the vertical asymptote is x is equals to 0. Now let's find the horizontal asymptote. So the degree of the polynomial on the numerator is 2. It is quadratic. While the degree of the denominator is 1, so it is linear. The power of the numerator is greater than the denominator, so we have no horizontal asymptotes. Now, let's find the zeros. Equate x plus 3 to 0 and x minus 1 to 0 and transpose. Then we'll have x is equals to negative 3 and x is equals to 1. And now, it's time for us to plot the given table.
For example, x plus 3 over x squared. We can find the vertical asymptote. That's for the denominator is equal to 0. That's why x is equals 0. In horizontal asymptote, the numerator is linear polynomial. The denominator is now a quadratic. Degree as higher downstairs than upstairs. If you want to fantasize for seconds to think about the terms that really matter, for it's like it's too big. The positive 3 doesn't matter. That's why just x. X over x squared simplifies 1 over x. And 1 over x goes get bigger, bigger, and bigger. 1/2 gets smaller, smaller, and smaller. Hits to 0. So in fact, we have the horizontal asymptote. Y equals to 0. Remember, this in general, if the degree of denominator is greater than the degree of numerator, you always have the horizontal asymptote of y equals 0. There's also a zeros. The zeros are when the numerator equals 0, and that's why 0 is equal to -3.
Now, let's find the table of values. After finding the table of values, you may now sketch the graph.
We have here the third example. 3x squared minus 12 over x squared minus 9. First thing to do is factor anything that is factorable in the equation. The simplified answer will be 3, quantity x plus 2, quantity x minus 2, over quantity x plus 3, quantity x minus 3. Now, let's find the vertical asymptotes by equating the denominator to 0. Our vertical asymptote will be x is equals to -3 and +3. To find the horizontal asymptote, look at their degree. Since they have the same degree, you can just simplify their coefficient. 3 over 1 is simplified as 3. That's why x is equals to 3. In getting the zeros, equate the numerator x plus 2 and x minus 2 to 0. Our zeros are x is equals to -2 and +2. When we substitute x to 0, f of 0 will be equal to 4 over 3, and f of 4 is equals to 36 over 7. Now, let's start plotting the answers we have.
So, that's all for today, and we hope you learned something about graphing rational functions through watching this video.